So, to any parents that might be collecting Social Security and be thinking about putting their kid in a program with other orphans or other children with no parents or stuff like that, there's something you have to keep in mind. Any money that the state gives you to take care of a child, you still have to do that. If you put your kid into a program, they're not going to bring them clothing shopping if your father or your stepfather or your adopted father or your foster father is collecting money in your name. If there's money being given to the parents to take care of the child, it's up to the parents to bring the child out every month and buy them clothing. If you decide that you don't want to do that, then your child's going to be left in the program by himself while all the other children go clothing shopping. And that's because children that have not been adopted and children that don't have any parents get a check every month to go clothing shopping to make sure that they're clothed properly. They're wearing the right size clothing, they have shoes to wear, they have plenty of underwear, things like that. And you got to also pay attention because kids grow very fast. Other kids can rip clothing, they get dirty. So you got to keep an eye on how much your kid needs. Now, when I was growing up in these programs, I did not have what I needed. When I needed a jacket because it was cold or I needed a new sweater, I would ask. It wouldn't really go too well. I'd be told, no, you don't need it. They don't give out that much. And then I wouldn't get it. And that's why I did it myself. I would go out, create all these cool things like cigarettes, pipes, all these things that 13-year-olds wish they had, and then I would trade it for sweaters or underwear or whatever I really needed. But the reason I had to do that was because the money I should have been receiving went to a different place. Now, I'm sure that money would have been given to me if my parents understood what was going on more properly. But see, they didn't want to understand this. They didn't want to know what they were doing because then they would have to handle it. And that might require taking responsibility, losing your job, having less money to use for finances, having less money to support a bigger house, things like that. But keep in mind that if you're getting money from the state or from the government to take care of a child, it is very important that you do so. You cannot just go on vacations without checking in on that child. These programs are understaffed, they're underfunded, and these kids, a lot of them are really messed up. They're being given medications that they don't need. Meanwhile, other kids have real conditions like schizophrenia where they might actually need the medication, but they're going to struggle. You also got very violent kids in there who might rip or burn your clothing, they might hurt you, and you have staff who might not care or might not do very much about this. And the least you can do is make sure your child is clothed, properly fed, and that his health is top notch. You cannot leave your kid's health to fail. If you see something going on, you have to address it, especially if you're getting funding from any federal or state level.